Hey guys, it's me again, Topher. Welcome to Filara Spirit and welcome to another episode of Manifestation 101. Manifesting love. We're definitely doing it wrong. So before I get into this, as I always say, these are my perspectives, my views, my specific ways of manifesting. Some of them tie over with other people's, but genuinely, the more people talk about it, the more inspiration we get out there, the more information we get out there, and the more people hopefully start working on themselves and changing their lives for the better. We change ourselves, we will change the collective, we will change the face of this planet. That is how it works. You start at the foundations and then you grow up from there. I do want to say, specifically when we're talking about love, what I am talking about today is romantic love. We are going to talk unconditional love and all the other kinds of love later on. But for the purposes of this video, we're specifically talking about manifesting romantic love, in which there is attraction, appreciation, devotion, etc. You guys know what romance is. Now, there's nothing wrong with manifesting love. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? You manifest the things you want to manifest. If you are not hurting somebody else, and you are not hurting yourself intentionally, then go for it. Right? You don't want to be taking anything from anybody else. You don't want to be hurting anybody else. You don't want to be putting anything out there that is intentionally trying to get somebody else to experience something negative. Then go for it, right? And romance is one of those things. Everybody wants romance. We're all entitled to it. Go crazy, manifest the romance, okay? Now, one thing I have experienced as a spiritual advisor, or whatever it is that I do, love and money are the two most manifested things, or the most desired manifestations in my experience, right? Because love and money provide something for us, so specifically security and stability for us, that we don't feel that we can provide ourselves. If I have all of the money in the world, then it doesn't matter what goes wrong, I can just pay for it. Something breaks, I can pay for it. I need help with this, I can pay for it. I've got money for a rainy day. If all falls down around me and I lose my house, or my family disappears, or whatever, I've got this money, I will be okay. Which obviously we all know, even though we're all still working towards it, we all know that's a lie. We all know that's a lie. Have all of the money if that you want. I mean, you can pay for the situation to disappear if you want, or you can make sure that something's fixed, but you're still going to have the experience. Money does not provide security and stability in the way that we think that it does. It does, but not in the way that we think that it does. And love is exactly the same. Romantic love is the same. Now, the same goes for romantic love. It provides us with something that makes us feel secure and stable. I am lovable. Even if other people in my life say that I am unattractive, or I am too tall, too short, if they say that I am unlovable, if they say anything that is a slight against my self-esteem and my ego, then I always have this knowing that, well, that person loves me. Some people even do it with their children and stuff. We'll talk about that later on. That's a little bit deeper. But romantic love is definitely one of those situations where we are seeking the stability of knowing that, well, at least somebody must like me because this person says that they love me. They want to be with me. What it does is it provides us with a layer of protection against anything negative against our ego. For example, I don't think you're attractive, or, social media now, the absolute crap show that it is. There's a lot of people out there who, even if most of them don't actually mean that you are ugly, or they don't mean that you are too fat or too thin or too tall or too short. They don't actually mean it. They don't have any reference for talking about it. They are just trying to say something either for their own issues or to get a reaction, etc., etc. But if we have romantic love, we then have a lead shield that is around us. So we are going to feel bad if somebody comes and says, I think you're ugly or unlovable or unattractive. But we're only going to have it for this. So we're going to go and seek the arms and the praise and the attention and the appreciation of that romantic person. And essentially, the reason that we're asking for this from a romantic partner is because we cannot provide it for ourselves. We were not taught growing up throughout history, and now none of us are taught how to develop that lead shield of self-appreciation, self-attraction, self-attention, self-esteem. So what we're looking for as we grow up is for somebody else to do it for us. And it's probably one of the biggest disservices that we do to our children and our younger generations is we don't teach them how to do this. We teach them that looking for somebody else to do it for them is the right way to do it. We have normalized not being able to do it for ourselves to the point where people are now getting in and out of relationships within a matter of weeks, sometimes days, on a constant, consistent basis, just to make sure that it's always there. Kind of like making sure that you have enough money for that rainy day. Well, at least I know if anything happens, I've got this lover. The only problem is when we have the expectation or the desire for somebody else to come and fulfill our self-esteem and ego when it comes to romance, because we can't do it for ourselves, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, the other person is also in a position of not being fulfilled and wanting somebody else to fulfill them. Now, because you are not fulfilled, how are you supposed to fulfill somebody else? That's like a battery being at 50% and wondering why it's not powering something at 100%. It's like looking at your phone and saying, I only have 30% charge. Why is it not 100%? You didn't charge it. And this is why we're manifesting love wrong. We are constantly just two people, sometimes more, but two people unable to bring it to themselves or each other. And then getting constantly frustrated, why won't they do it? Don't you think it's such a ridiculous expectation for us to sit here, feel crappy about ourselves, feel horrible about ourselves, that we are this, that, and everything else, and ask the universe to bring us the greatest lover in the world, and then expect everything to just be hunky-dory? A person can only meet you as much as you've met yourself. A person can only really love you, especially romantically, as much as you love yourself. Because if I bring you Prince Charming or Princess Charming or whatever to you right here and right now, and they fawned over you, all of the things that they love about you, they would point out things that you don't like about yourself. They would bring them up. But then what you would do is either overcompensate or completely try and dismiss and deny that it exists. Right? Now I'm going to use myself as an example. I am really, really learning how to do my self-love. I've got self-love in almost every other area of my life besides physically. And the reason that I don't have that is because I just don't wear makeup. I don't wear jewelry. I don't really do the whole girly thing. I never paint my nails. I hardly paint my toenails. I just can't be bothered. I'm too busy doing art or being a nerd or something like that. And this is something that I'm really trying to hone in on. I'm trying to practice the idea of, okay, can I love myself for that? Even though societally, in my subconscious programmed brain, it's telling me, no, women must look this way and be like this and you have to blah, 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 and then somebody will love you. I'm really trying to fight against it. So using myself as an example, if the universe was to bring Prince or Princess Charming to my door or handed them me on a plate right here and right now, I would be able to accept the love that they give me in every other area. I wouldn't feel uncomfortable about it. I would love that they would be involved in my creativity and the things, the videos I create, the art that I do, the writing, my singing, everything. Blah, 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 blah. And then when it came to my appearance, then they started fawning over my appearance and saying, no, I love the fact that you don't wear any makeup. I love the fact that you're this, that, and everything else. And it means so much to me that you don't do this and you do this and blah, 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 blah. What it does is it brings attention to it. And what have I been doing with my self-esteem and ego? I've been trying to reduce attention on the fact that I'm not that kind of woman. Which I know there's a million women out there like me. Of course there are. Actually, no, social media has a huge part to do with that, obviously, because everybody wants to look their best, everybody wants to look great or whatever. And even full disclosure, you guys, as I do this, I have the retouch filter on. Right? So you're not necessarily seeing every single one of my pores or whatever, and you're not seeing every single one of my... I have so many freckles and acne scars and things like that. So even in this instance, I still just have a tiny little bit of a retouch on because there's this part of me that feels like, no, I need to be a certain presentable in order to be presented on the internet. Which is ridiculous because obviously it doesn't actually matter what my face looks like. So I get it, you guys. I am there. I am with you. When it comes to self-love, specifically when it comes to your appearance as well, we struggle. But asking somebody else to come in and do it for us, because we cannot do it for ourselves, is an unrealistic expectation. Because even if they came to do it, we would not be able to accept or receive it, let alone be grateful for it. Because they are drawing attention to the thing that we are trying to reduce attention on. Now, sometimes this can go one of two ways, right? One person might overcompensate, and if their partner starts telling them, I think you're really attractive, and they don't believe they are, they may overcompensate to the point where they're trying, okay, I'm going to start wearing makeup. I'm going to start overdoing how I am. You've said I'm attractive, so now let me live up to what I think attractive is in my head, even though you've already said I'm attractive. Unable to receive it, unable to take it on and take it for what it is and actually believe and trust in it. And then you get another person who might completely dismiss it and deny it. And every time their partner says something like, I think you're beautiful, or I love the fact that you don't wear makeup, obviously this is myself in this example, then me or whoever it is might turn around and say something like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Can you stop saying that, please? It might even get a little bit frustrating and annoying because it's like, you're lying to me. You're lying to me about how attractive I am because I know I'm not attractive. I believe it so readily in myself. Do you see how this works? Even if The universe brought you exactly the romance you are manifesting and asking for right now. From whatever person, specific or not, you would not be able to receive it. You would sabotage it. Both parties would, because you're in a state of not being able to maintain it. You're not not let alone being able to receive it. You're not able to maintain and sustain it, because eventually it will come to the surface. No person on this planet can pretend to be somebody who they're not for perpetual all of eternity. Which leads to the final point. It is imperative for you to start appreciating and attracting and paying attention to yourself in the way that you would want somebody else to. In my example, that means me starting to fall in love with the fact that I don't want to wear makeup all the time. Me starting to accept the fact that I don't paint my nails. I'm never going to. I'm just not that person. And I don't need to in order to be acceptable, attractive, lovable, etc., etc., etc. Even if it's just to myself and the universe. Once you see yourself in that way, you essentially become immune. Even if you do attract the love of your life, and it's amazing and it's epic and it's wonderful, not only are you able to receive it and have it with joy, you're not carrying around this burden of, oh, actually I'm an imposter because I'm not actually pretty, or oh, let me overcompensate because they've said that I'm that and now I better be that all of the time, blah, blah. I'm sorry, who is having relationships like that? That's not a relationship, that's an obligation and an expectation, which relationships do have, but they're pretty specific. And it shouldn't really have anything to do with the way that you look or the way that you feel about yourself. You shouldn't be carrying that around when you're busy trying to fall in love with somebody, for goodness sake. Right? What a waste of time, what a waste of energy, what a waste of effort. You might as well take some time to put that effort into falling in love with yourself first. And then that way, no matter what happens, whether or not you find the love of your life, whether or not you don't find them for the next 5 years, or maybe you want to go hang around with some people, just have fun for a while. Maybe you meet the love of your life and it only lasts for a few years before you meet the next love of your life. Trust me, you're going to have more than one, okay? Anybody who tells you that there's one love of their entire life, No. It's leveling up. Trees don't grow and then stop and then go, okay, well, this is the height of my life. I'm not going to grow anymore from here. The reason that you loved that person so much, the love of your life, was to teach you how to love that much. Now get your ass off the sofa, stop feeling sorry for yourself, get out there and love somebody else the same way. Man, I just get so passionate. And eventually what happens is you get less desperate for the other person to approve and fulfill you, and you get far more interested and involved in just getting to know them and sharing who you truly are. That's the point where I am. It's just, I just want to share myself. I want to share all of myself. I want to share the things about myself that are quirky and weird and slightly off-putting. I want to share the things about myself that are socially awkward and regularly awkward. I want to share the things about myself that just make me me. Things that I would have previously denied, things that I would have tried to hide, things that I would have pretended weren't there until they came out 6 months into the relationship and you suddenly realize you're with a person that you don't even know. It's the moment where you step out of desperate for them to fulfill me and approve of me and into, I just want to share who I am with somebody who wants to share themselves. That's how you manifest love. That's how you manifest the right kind of love. That's how you manifest a healthy love. That's how you manifest the love, and you can sustain it beyond the interaction, the initial attraction. It's a very different experience. Trust me, a very different experience. And you know that if anything happens within the relationship, you guys stay together or you don't, no matter what happens, you have that central core of self-love. You have that foundation of self-esteem and a healthy ego. And even if it's just you being loved by yourself and the universe, irrelevant. Win-win. So let's leave it there because, yeah, this was a pretty deep one. I'm going to be talking a lot more about manifested love in the future, ideas on romance and stuff or whatever. I feel like I should just be a relationship coach sometimes. Most of the time it's because of my heavy detachment from things and stuff or whatever. But I'm just far more interested in self-love. Like, I believe that's the ultimate relationship. Your relationship with yourself, the universe, your God, however it is that you term it. That's the most important relationship. Everybody else I have in my life who I love unconditionally, of course, they're like icing or cherries on the cake. But me and the cake, that's me and the universe. Yeah? Yeah, just already got that central foundation. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. There'll be a whole bunch more of these videos coming soon. I totally love recording this series, you guys. And basically just spouting my blatherings about the universe and manifestation. Okay, I love you so much. Check out the link in the description box for everything else, including how to book a reading with me, the Filara Spirit Tarot deck, my TikTok, and my personal YouTube channel. Take care, you guys. Mwah! I will see you next time.